Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with acclaimed hip-hop singer-songwriter, THORNE Malick. For more on THORNE, you can read more about him right below this video. But in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of THORNE Malick.
So it goes, things changing. I know that though I've got no control, that's just the way that we grow. And no one told me what's ahead on this road, so until I break the mold, we'll just keep shooting. Okay, say this feel like the first day I Hofstra after summer 16. 11/27 memories still feels like a dream, and I never thought that I'd find myself at the heart of my team, writing these songs, living my life, still trying to find what it means. Some days it's harder to see, but something's peaceful about the uncertainty. There's worse things in this life to have to worry about. This for the ones back then that took the time and heard me out. You built it up from nothing, our foundation's looking sturdy now. To those who did me dirty, hold no malice as I stand inside my palace. Love and hate, it's all the same as we try to maintain the balance. It's all a part of the wave, there ain't no use in looking backwards. The story has to continue, looking forward to the chapters that follow. I know my heart may seem hollow, I try to feel it daily. I know I'm only human, maybe that's what makes me crazy. Maybe I've been trying way too hard to run away from things I know that soon will change. I guess that growing's kind of strange. Okay.
Well, hello, THORNE, how are you?
I'm well, Will. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. And I'm so excited to meet you and via the Zoom. And I'm also really excited that our audience just got a sneak peek of your incredible talent. And, you know, THORNE, I want to know, where were you born, and when did you realize that you had not only a love of music, but specifically hip hop?
So I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. And I would say that my journey into music started when I was about 16 years old. I had a lot of feelings that I needed to let out, and my older brother and some of our mutual friends were into music, so they kind of put me on and got me into the studio and into writing and things of that sort.
That's amazing. And I'm curious to know, that first song that you wrote, do you remember what the experience was and what the idea was, and how did you go about doing it?
Yeah, so actually the first ever verse that I recorded was for a remix of Drive Slow by Kanye West that my best friend Caesar Valentine, who also is an artist, he's not super active now, but he still puts stuff out every now and again. And again, actually had just come from the summer camp that we met at, and he was like, hey, I'm working on this thing, and I was just sitting in his basement working on him with it. And I pulled out a notebook, wrote a verse, and he was like, hey man, if you want to record it, we'll record it. And the rest is history.
That's amazing. Obviously from teenager to where you are now, do you feel like you use a lot of your life experiences in your art?
Yeah, I would say everything that I write, it comes directly from something that I've experienced in one way or another. I like to consider myself a very evocative artist. So my goal when I'm producing the tracks or when I'm writing is always to try and get the audience into the same mindset that I was in when I was writing the song.
Yeah, and I think you succeed at it, because as a director, in noticing your songs, you definitely eavesdrop into not only the emotion, but the psyche. I feel like I'm in the POV of the character. And I wanted to ask you, do you look at your songs, heroes or heroines, as characters? Because that's how I view it when I'm hearing it, your songs.
Yeah, so that's actually a very interesting question. So when I first started making music at the age of 16 with my friend Caesar, I used to go by The Wave. And The Wave was kind of this character that I had created that was kind of my inner voice at the time. Interesting fact about me, I don't really have an internal dialogue, so there's like no voice inside of my head. If I ever try and make a voice come out in my head and like hear thoughts, it's usually I can feel myself trying to talk. So The Wave was kind of like, hey, I have these things that I'm feeling, but I can't talk about them inside of my head. I have to write them down.
Wow.
And as I progressed, and I decided to rebrand as THORNE Malick when I turned 20 in the summer of 2018, because I felt like I was playing a character that wasn't who I was anymore. And as I've seen myself grow, I've come into this idea of Thorne Malik, who, yes, he is the hero of the story and it is a character, but Thorne Malik, I feel like, is more introspective and a little bit more about me than the stuff that I did as the Wave was.
Wait, this is bizarre because I love that I'm like vibing with you because, you know, I'm like, because I knew that you had a stage name and everything, but that's not even why I asked it. But truly, I'm like, this is, and it makes perfect sense. You have created, I don't want to even say persona, but I guess a character that acts as a vessel to emotions that you need to get out. And how beautiful that you are also giving yourself permission that, you know, this character might evolve as you get older and evolve.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, changing my name to Thorne Malik, in my personal opinion, was probably one of the most groundbreaking things I've done in my career as an artist, because it really did change the way that I viewed the work that I was doing. A lot of the things that I did as the Wave were, I was trying to show the world the version of myself that I wanted it to see. And the things that I've done as Thorne Malik is like, hey, this is who I am. It's the guy that you know and love, the guy that you see around campus, the guy that you know from summer camp, the guy that you know from back home. But, you know, I have these other things going on too, and this is the story that I have to tell. So it's interesting that you actually go into that, you know, allegory of a hero, because a lot of the time I have to put myself in the place of like, I'm the hero of the story.
Stop it, you don't.
Literally, quite literally, yeah. Quite literally.
I just got chills, and like literally, I don't know now if I'm like, are we meant to collab on something? Like, are we meant
potentially? Listen, we might have to talk after this, Will.
No, Thorne, like, I mean, but seriously, has anyone ever, honestly, I'm sure you've had other people like me describe it like that, or no?
One person, his name is Stowe the Last on Twitter. He does like bios and he works with artists to help them grow their fan engagement. And I paid him to help me write a bio last year, actually, during the pandemic. And it was very interesting because in the same way that you just did that, he used the phrase, the hero of our story, in there, but completely unprovoked. Like I hadn't mentioned to him at all. And he just put it in there. And I was like, that's so interesting to me.
Well, look, I can get more specific off interview when I'm thinking right now. But what I do want to say about you, Thorne, is the fact is I'm looking at young Thorns out there, looking at you, whether they be female, male, you know, non-binary, whatever, but they're looking at you, and you do it in a show don't tell way, that whatever emotions that you have, to never apologize for them, and that you can and have the ability to create a vessel and a stream for them to flow. And it's a beautiful thing, really.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And that you happen also, by the way, you're not only a great storyteller, but you're a great poet.
Thank you.
And that's all I got on my soapbox. Listen, moving forward past this pandemic, obviously, it's been trying for humans, artists, everyone. Yeah. But for you as an artist, has this time given you even a more clear North Star about Thorne Malik's next steps?
Yes. So the most recent single that I put out is called Strong. That came out in, I don't remember when it came out, but it was very recent. It's the last record that I put out. And I'm currently working on an EP. I came to the realization very recently that I have things ready because I've been recording this entire time of the pandemic, because, you know, what else am I supposed to do?
You're right.
And the EP is actually called Now What? And the idea of that is that there's always more that can be done. As long as I'm here and as long as I'm still feeling things, there's more that I'll have to get out. So it's like, you know, I put Strong out. I was the Wave. Now what? What comes next? How do we keep moving forward? Like, it's all a cycle, but you have to keep moving in the cycle to keep things going in life. So right now I'm working on finishing up that EP. We shot 2 music videos, one for Strong and then one for another one of the tracks that's on there. And I'm working on finishing up the masters, and then we got to grab some album art and we should be good to go. I'm hoping to release somewhere around November.
It's amazing. Well, that's my birthday month. So Thorne, happy birthday to me. God bless. But
this is a very, very random question. What day in November?
November 23rd.
Wow. Okay, so that was scary for 2 seconds.
Why?
So I have this tattoo of the number 1127 on my arm here. And it's
by the way,
November.
that's my best girlfriend's birthday.
Right. So that's so cool. So right, the number 1127, the significance of it to me is as an angel number, it means that you're on the right path in your life. And to like kind of keep continuing on that path that you're on. So this was my dorm room number my freshman year of college, and I quite literally see this number everywhere all of the time, like everywhere. So even you saying that, you know, your best girlfriend's birthday is on that day, like what a coincidence, am I right?
I literally just came back from Boston for her bridal shower. And I see two sets of numbers. Sorry, Will, why are you making this about you when it's about
No
me?
worries.
I literally see two numbers every time I look at the clock. It's either 11:23 in the morning or 11:27 at night.
Yeah, yep, same.
We're talking after this, Thorne. But in the meantime, for our audience who's going to know about our collaboration coming in 2022, listen, for more on Thorne Malik, you can read more about him right below this video. Thorne, God bless you. Thank you for what you do. And you're a beautiful artist, and really great to meet you.
Thank you for having me on your platform, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.